Hello and welcome back. So today we're going to be making a witch farm because I really like being able to make our little flat lamps, which I have set up right here, but I need lots of glowstone for that, and I don't really have lots of glowstone, and I don't really have lots of redstone, which I kind of like to have lots of redstone as well. Gunpowder we don't really need lots of. Sticks, not really that big a deal, but wooden ladders are better than stone ladders. They don't wash away when everything touches them. But what we're going to do is we're going to build the witch farm right here. And this is a little smaller than the standard radius for a spawner usually is when I build it. That's a weird place for a home. Normally, a spawner needs to be put into an 8x8 area, and the distance, it's depending on your angle. So like, north and east might be 4 blocks to the edge, where the other two directions are going to be 3. So it's not perfectly centered. Usually the easiest way to do it is just to put it in the middle of a 9x9, and then you're done. You don't have to worry about it. So this room's a little smaller than that, because you can see we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'll have to seal this area up and this area. But what we're actually going to do is we're going to put it 1 block down. Now the initial thought was to place it right here in the southwest corner because the bulk of the area below it is dug out already. But I don't really need that because the more I think about it, it's not like I'm going to be standing far down below watching them fly by on the different levels. I mean, we built this structure, but we still haven't used probably 95% of it. So there's really no reason to make it that way. But at the same time, I really would like to have this glass, but unfortunately that means the spawner would not function. What I may do is kind of seal this room, take the light sources out, make this entire floor glass so I can see it. Because what I want to do is have the spawner kind of hanging down a couple blocks from here, from like whatever, if there was a block right here. So block. So it's going to be, it'll start 3 blocks below this block, and I've got 2 spawners, so it'll be this block, 3 blocks, a spawner, and then empty space, all the way down to what amounts to being, I think it was basement level 11 is what it ends up being. Each one of these floors from like right here, this block is 5 tall, so you got your 3, 4, and this is your 5th, and then the next level stacks on top of it. So we're looking at a decent drop down there. My hope is that that will kill the bulk of the witches, because we've got Thaumcraft in here and a couple other things. Occasionally critters spawn with we'll just say extra abilities and sturdiness, and that tends to allow them to survive some things. So I'm also going to need a bunch of punji sticks, which I don't have set up to create yet. That's one of those things I was hoping to get done prior, because I've got the block breaker. I have a chunk loader right here that I keep forgetting to turn off, so this entire area is loaded. So I was thinking about just going outside and placing some water, a piece of sand, a sugar cane, and a barrel, along with the block breaker, and just kind of let it go to town. So, but we'll see how that works out. I don't really need that right away, so I'm not that concerned with it. But what we're going to do is basically carve this out. It'll be a little easier because I'm not going with the full 9x9, I'm just doing a 7. So that'll be a little easier to work with. Now, I do have to be careful because as I start going down, we didn't clear these areas out 100%. We basically just kind of sealed them over because we didn't really need them at the time. I must have missed a spot right there and got a little too close to the edge. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with the edges yet. I mean, you're not going to be able to see it past a certain point, so it may not be that big a deal. But I was kind of hoping to do something, at least to the start, so that, the spot we might be able to see, so maybe a floor or so down doesn't just look like straight cobblestone. Like maybe, do something to it. But let's take a look at what we've got here. Alright, so we don't have a ton of water, but we have enough that it'll be a bit of a pain. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start ripping pieces out of here. See if I can get this cleared off. Once I get down a few levels so I can get to the point where the spawner, probably a level or 2 down, I'll pop back so I can show where the spawners are going to go and how they're going to kind of be lined up in there. And then we'll kind of continue digging down and get to the bottom and hopefully have some room to get some stuff set up. But once I get that this part dug out, I'll be back. Alright, and we're back. So I dug the hole all the way down to basement level 12. So you can see here, I'm using the clear glass from Tinker's. It gives you that heart-stopping moment. I just stuck amber blocks around the edge here because we had a ton of amber. This is actually 2 layers deep, so if you look at it here, 2. because I wanted a little bit of an extra gap here just in case I accidentally broke a hole in the floor. You can see the two tall little spike of glass right there. That's where the spawners are going to go, 1 and then 2 directly under it. So that right there would have been basement level 1. The platform right there is level 2. All the way down there on the bottom you can see the stone bricks. That's basement level 12. And that little line of cobble there, that's level 11. So what we're going to do is go down there. I've got a whole bunch of hoppers. I got an obsidian chest, which is just a diamond chest with obsidian around it. Got a bunch of stone slabs, and we're going to head down there and get that floor built. And then I don't have the I don't have much, if any, sugarcane yet. This thing has only been going for a little bit. You can see I've just got the block breaker pointing at this, so as soon as that grows, it snaps it off and it puts it in there. So it's going to go, and I'm leaving it there. It's within the chunk. Let's see, we pop that on. Hit our F9. There we go. Hit our F9. You can see this one chunk here. This is the chunk that encompasses the primary smeltery and that chunk clutter. So that'll go and go and go, and hopefully in a day or so when I come back, I'll have a whole bunch of it, and we'll see what happens from then. Hopefully I can get the punji sticks made out, because you need like nearly 300 sugar cane to make the punji sticks. So let's head down to 11. Just keep hitting shift until it turns red. There it is. So this is 11. It takes a while to get down here. Oops, that's right. I have to go this way. This level's not fully dug out yet. Actually, most of the levels above here, I think past like level, basement 5 or 6, aren't actually dug out yet. So here's our, that's where our floor is going to be. So that's what these slabs are for. And then what I've got here is I want to put my little chest right there. And then I want to get the hoppers on top of it. So now we're going to jump back up to 11 and get those hoppers in place. Get that floor built. What I'm hoping is that the punji sticks will sit on top of the hoppers. If they do, we should be okay, good to go type thing. If they don't, I'm not really sure what it's going to do. It's going to be a bit more of a pain. So all I'm doing is just radiating them in here. I'm hoping that the hoppers and a chest will be enough to keep up with it. I don't see why they wouldn't be, but you know, it always happens at some point in time. You forget to empty a chest and everything just kind of gets messy. So I'm just radiating these for the heck of it. There's really no reason to do it, just because it'll look interesting on the bottom. And then let's just do this and this. Here, and I'm going to have to go under on the underside and finish it off. And then we'll slab them over. So, oops. And, well, that's a good way to make sure the hoppers are working, I guess. And there we go. Huh, that's kind of an interesting effect. Light down here will not actually matter since we're so big. You can see pure black above me. Won't really matter. Spawner's far enough away that we won't have any issues with that. And shortcut. Alright. Let's get the rest of these hoppers in place. I put those torches up there so I'd remember where the actual floor was supposed to be. Because this would normally be the kind of lip that kind of stuck in like this, and then the ceiling would be where the hoppers were. So it lines up pretty good. Put those back. Alright, so now we just need to get these in place. My hope here is that I have this... Okay, good. I have the spawners positioned in a way, or I will have them positioned in a way where they can actually not spawn in the room above, because that would be kind of awkward. Get past these torches here and get these laid in here. Don't want any spots to not be covered by the hopper pole here. Almost done, and then we're going to take a look. There. Now all of these should flow into here, so it shouldn't matter where something ends up there. Let's see, where are we? So we need to go over here, and okay, there we go. So this was kind of his temporary staging area. Now let's head back up. All the way, there we go. So now, if we go up here, we should... Yeah, it's kind of odd. If you're down there, because you're so close to bedrock, it's dark up here. But if you're up here, you can see all the way to the bottom. It's one of those oddities, I guess. Let's grab those spawners, toss them in there, and see if I did the math right on their radius and their spawnability area. So we've got our 2. It's going to mess with our walk speed, but that'll be fine. We need to go down to 2nd level. And then let's get... Now what I should be able to do is just go 1 and then 2. So we're going to put them like this. And we're going to... Ooh, glad this thing has some haste on it. Jeez. And let's just do this. Because if I get bumped by one of these things, it's gonna suck. There's 1. Oh, no. And come on, 2. 2. Now, they can spawn where I'm standing. So we kind of have to get rid of this. Oops, something just went flying by. Torch there. Alright, now let's take a look up top. Now the rate should be a little slower right now because of the light coming through the glass. That should mess with them. But let's take a look and see how bad it messes with them. Are we going to get anything spawning here? That's going to be... Oh, ooh, down they go, and splat. Perfect. The radius on these things is 16 blocks from the center. And now it's a sphere as far as I can tell. I don't know if it's, you know, Minecraft sphere, so square, or if it's actually a sphere. Either way, standing in this room and a little bit into the surrounding area should still activate this thing. That's actually not working that bad. Let's go down and take a look and see if there's anything in there. Let's see if they're actually getting caught. Down. Red. Nope, wait. There you go. The other red. Alright, there's the corner. Here is... Here we go. And... Oh. Oh. That's interesting. And there we go. Nice. I did not realize that would happen. Now that I think about it, why did I put the obsidian chest down here? I was going to put a ender chest down here and one up at top by the thing, so we never had to come down here. That's what the plan was. Let's go fix that real quick. Way up here. Now we need... Let's see. I know we need one of these. Oops, let's put those away. No, away. We're going to need some wool. I know we need some obsidian. And I want to say 4? Yeah, I think 4 of these. Let's see if I remembered this right. So that there. This here. Chest in the middle. Luckily, we have a little bit of wood from all of the landscape destruction in this area and all the clearing out over here. I do kind of have an idea for the portal that we were looking at right there. I'm hoping that maybe if I put string next to the glass, it'll give it something to bind to, and it won't, I'm hoping that it won't be horribly visible. So I want to try that out. I just haven't had a chance to pop out there yet. Let's see. We've got... Where did it go? I know I had it. There it is. Okay, so now we need some coloring for it. Let's do black, red, black. Let's do that. And then I need to apparently close a door, so I'll be right back. Alright, it's time to go down to the bottom again. All the way down. I just put a drop in here somewhere probably. And then we have to go over here. I have no idea why this area doesn't fill in on my map. There's obviously a room here and there, and all around me there are rooms, but they don't show up. It's kind of odd. Alright, so now, splat. Let's take... We want... Where'd it go? There it is. I think I only need 2. Wasn't sure if I got 2 per or not. What are we gonna do? Yeah, red, then black and black. There we go, and there you go. Let's put these things back in there, and let's head back up to the top. Get this thing set up. Get ourselves a transfer translocator on it. And get that going into the obsidian chest. So we need 2 translocators. There we go, 2 of those. Pop over here again. There we go. So if we put right there, here and here. Perfect. And then what we can do, actually let's do this, because why not? This way you can see the items. No. Here. Into, so now you'll see them when they flow up. And you're going to spawn for me? Come on. There we go. Ooh, 3. So they hit the ground, and we see items flow through. Okay, perfect. These are kind of neat, because these things give us the, where is it? Is it the innervation, I think it is? I'll get off of that. I think it's the innervation that you get for that, and the higher the innervation level is, that you get some hit points back for picking those up, which is kind of cool. I think this is actually going to work out well. Eventually I'll probably need some, I'd probably end up changing this, so maybe it was on the wall here and there was a line of hoppers that fed into barrels. That might be a good end to go for, or end goal. So far it doesn't look like the light from up here is enough to really cause the spawners any issues, which is awesome. And so far none of the witches have survived. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that some won't eventually survive, but that would be what the punji sticks would be for eventually. Maybe what we should do is, I know I have enough sugarcane in the food box here. Let's make a punji stick and go test it out and find out. Because I'd hate to let that thing run, get tons and tons of this stuff, go down there with, you know, a couple hundred punji sticks and have them not work. So this way, and nope, there we go. And we're far enough out of the spawning radius that we shouldn't have to worry about them falling on our heads. We should probably seal that anyways. So that's going to get sucked inside. Can we put... okay. Ow, ow, ow. No. I thought these broke with an axe. Jeez. Look at that. Okay, so... okay, I was holding shift still. Alright, so check that out. They fit. That's perfect. So now as I get them, I can come down here and slowly start removing them. And what we're going to do... I want something there just in case. So we'll grab... yeah, that should be enough. Just enough that we can have something to prevent anything from walking out of here, just in case we get one of those ones that has like a ward on it, or has an obscene amount of hit points and survives. The distance all the way down there is something like 45 to 55 blocks, I think, which is more than enough to basically just butcher these things when they fall down there. But if they have more than your average witch's hit points, they're going to survive. And since the witches can heal themselves, they would basically just be down there forever. How does this thing line up with a chunk border? Oh, that's awesome. It's actually in a chunk. So maybe what we'll have to do in the future is see about getting the... what was it called? I don't even know if it's going to show up in here yet, but let's take a look. Botania. Yeah, see, I think we'd have to get through the elf portal to see it. It would be an apparatus, but it's not in here yet. There's one of the Botania items that, if I remember correctly, you can slap it on the top of a spawner, and if you feed it power, it will let the spawner run when no one's here. So you'd be able to chunk load this area and then have like a mana farm somewhere outside or wherever, feeding power into it, and then it would just constantly run, which would be, you know, kind of neat. But just kind of keep going. I think that's actually going to work out pretty well. I mean, it's not flowing quickly, but I mean, you can see we've already got enough for a couple more lamps. We've got some more redstone, because like right now, this thing's got 350 redstone, but it's got another modifier available on it. So I should be able to go grab a whole ton of redstone and just jam it all in there and speed this thing up a little bit, which is where the bulk of our redstone has been going lately, is we're just constantly feeding them into our weapons and, you know, the weapons and the tools. So if we look at it, we should just be able to keep doing. Really already? Wow, it maxed out already. What's it got on it? Okay, so 5 more. Oop, that's too many. There we go. Here, here, and it should be 2.25 seconds, redstone 400, lapis 450. So this thing now reloads nice and quick. Now, Newt's is still significantly better than this. He got the luck of the draw on his was a lot better. Whereas, like with mine, I've got knockback, I've got lapis and stuff like that. His pretty much lined up perfect for speed, and it's like, so his is like a machine gun. But at the same time, I have a lot of knockback, which means I can keep things away from me. This thing's also got, what is it, 3 levels of smite. It's got blaze on it, so it lights them on fire. I've got moss 3 on it, so it regens pretty quickly. And it's got the, I think it's like, what, 4, 5 levels of quartz on it, so it works out pretty well. Kind of happy with the way it turned out. It did take a while to get here because of all the times you have to kill things with it, but overall it went pretty well. And this, geez, what's the, so 16 blocks. So if I did the math correctly, 16 blocks. So like if the spawner was on this level, on that level right there, like where the chest is, this would be the 16th block. So I mean, in theory, if I stand here, depending on how that radius plays out, they may still be spawning. So I'm kind of hoping to, with having that translocator there, if any items flow through, I'd be able to see them. So it doesn't look like anything's spawning yet. I'm kind of curious where the cutoff is for this thing. But if they don't spawn fast enough, now in theory they should show up on the map if they do spawn. Which I thought I saw something a minute ago, but maybe not. So I don't see anything yet. How about here? Because I mean, 16 blocks is a long way. That's almost 3 floors up. Which is why I was thinking about making a safe room somewhere. You know, either sealing this room in, or, you know, put some doors on it or whatever, so you can basically just stand here. And it just kind of goes and goes and goes. And since nothing can spawn on the glass, like so far it hasn't, I really hope it can't, we should be safe, and it just kind of let it run, and already it's not doing that bad. I mean, this obviously is not one of your crazy high output spawners, but one thing we do have, we can do, is, so good ghosts, this ring right here, this ring hasn't been pillaged yet. It still has both spawners, and I dug up from underneath in the underground tunnel and took the stuff out of the dropper that's in the middle, but I left the spawners. So I may have to take those 2 now free diamond dollies out there and grab those and bring them back, because I think the way this is set up, the thickness of the walls, I'd have to make sure that both those doorways on that side and you know, wherever are filled in. But I think I can put a couple around the edges here. You'd want to be careful about doing that, because every time you do it, you kind of reduce one of the spawnable areas, but it doesn't seem to be that big a deal. We could get 4 in there. You know, we could probably get upwards of, what, 18 of them in there? I mean, that'd be kind of crazy. But this, oh, we have sugar, we have redstone, we have sticks. Can we use these for anything? Living matter, hardcore ender. Never even done anything with that mod before. Witchery. Spider eye soup. How's that one? Now that's actually pretty good if we can get a decent amount of those. I mean, 4 food bars and a full saturation. That's pretty good. So that's just a stock, which is pretty much any food item tossed in a pot, and then a spider eye. What I'm trying to do is find decent food that's fairly easy to make. So if we got a farm running, like, you can basically just take lettuce and you get 3 stalks. I mean, it's, oopsie, come back. So apparently we can take some stock, a spider eye, and a pot. Yeah, see, that's pretty good, because you just take whatever, you know, as you start getting overflow food items from the farm down there, you start converting those into stock, pitch them into one of these auto crafting stations, and it automatically converts the item into stock, tosses it back around inside of itself with some spider eyes, and boom, food. Which would be kind of cool. I haven't got that far yet, unfortunately. Nothing in there. But I think this is actually working out really well. I wasn't sure. I mean, this obviously we can't do anything extremely high tech with this, but this is working out pretty good. I mean, we've already up to 8 of these, so 8 of the hard stones. I mean, we're doing pretty good for the glowstone. This is working out pretty good. I think, like I was saying, I'll have to eventually move it over here, like maybe put the ender chest here and have it pop down into a row of hoppers with some barrels or something like that. It'd be nice if you could chain these things along, but I don't think you can stick them to each other. Just so we can get something, you know, that isn't just hoppers, which are kind of boring. But I think this is going to work out pretty good. I'll have to see if either I can AFK in here or Nuke can while he's playing some of his other games and let this thing run and see what we end up with for materials, because I think it's going to take a while at this rate to fill this chest up, so we should be good. I think with that, I think we're going to call it, and like I said, I'll see if I can do some AFKing in there and see if I can get some of the items running up and see what we can do for rates and go from there. But for now, thank you for watching.